Hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you might be dialing in from around the world. Thank you all for joining us for today's webinar, Unveiling Consumer Insights, Unraveling Financial Behaviors and Preferences for Banking Providers. I'm Michaela Bernier, and I'll be your host for today's webinar. Before we begin, let me just cover a few quick housekeeping items. Today's webinar will be recorded, and a link to view the recording on demand will be available after the session. Please feel free to submit your questions using the questions feature located in the GoToWebinar toolbar to the right of your screen, and we will address them after the session. I'll now turn the mic over to Ariana Michelle Moore to introduce herself and jump into today's content. Thank you again for joining us, and we hope you enjoyed today's webinar.
Thank you, Michaela, so much. My name is Ariana Michelle Moore. I'm an advisor with Datos Insights in the Retail Banking and Payments Group. Part of my role in the group is spearheading a couple of our annual consumer surveys, which has been fantastic because I love data. As an analyst, and as really, you could probably say this about any position that you may have, you inform various opinions on things, right? And you can form your own biases if you're not careful and make wrong decisions off of them. But data is wonderful at always keeping you on track and to helping you actually understand the current conditions of the market outside of your customer base even. And really understanding where consumers are at their point in life. And so the survey that I'm going to actually be speaking about today and sharing some really interesting insights is from our flagship survey that we conducted at the end of Q3, Q4, sorry, it was 2022 actually. And we conducted the survey across 3 regions, the US, Canada, and UK. In total, we had 3,008 consumers. It was 2,006 in the US, 500 in the UK, and 500 in Canada. And the qualification for this survey was consumers that had at least one financial institution relationship. In other words, if they were banked. And the survey consisted of several parts. We inquired about the role financial institutions played in helping to manage their finances and improve their financial health, their financial institution preferences and attitudes. We really honed in on what made a bank their primary financial institution. We really wanted to understand the things that were important to them. Most consumers have more than one banking relationship. So we really wanted to understand when it comes to checking in particular, why do they always turn to that financial institution? We also wanted to know about their financial profile and behavior. What do they look like? How many accounts do they have? How much money do they have across all their savings? Access to credit. And then in particular, we asked about their account opening experience. What account they opened in the last 12 months? How did they do it? What problems did they run into? And then what type of an account were they interested in? And also, actually, did they open that account at their primary financial institution? Or did they turn to an outside bank to do it? We also inquired about how consumers transact and spend when they go to make their big ticket purchases. What do they usually use? They use a credit card, debit card, cash, buy now, pay later. We asked that across maintenance purchases like home improvement type purchases, as well as the day-to-day ticket items. And all the questions, and then we asked additional pertinent questions for 2022. We asked some cryptocurrency questions. We asked some sustainable banking questions. Really, again, this survey was truly to understand the consumer mindset and their overall attitudes and their financial behaviors. And so a lot of the findings are very interesting to us. We had some surprises, and I'm going to share some of those with you today. This presentation is really giving you some of the data, obviously. There's a lot of data here. And part of being a Datos Insights client is that you get to enjoy all this data, and through the advisor access, you could always access this type of data. You can drill in however you would like to. So today, though, I'm going to be honing in on a couple of key findings. First, we're going to address the frequency of account use, because we had some very interesting findings in here.